What up, zeros and ones? This is MikeBust from Arcadiance, and I'm doing another commentary on a first-time monster encounter with my alt character, Derailor. Derailor and I are going to be taking on the Lagiacrus in a hunt quest for the first time. We repelled him last time. And the bowgun I'm going to be using is the Jagged Fire frame, Aquamatic Needler barrel, and the Tropico gun stock for a explosive intensive bowgun that loads 3 Wyvern Fire 1s, 242 in the Crags, with rapid fire Crag 1s. Good times. This is going to be a lot of fun. Basically, I made a mistake last time in thinking that the Tropico gun frame had higher raw than the Jagged Fire. I just hadn't leveled my Jagged Fire frame up enough, because when I originally got it, I didn't have access to baggies for the leader crest. It's a big thing. In any case, I was incorrect about that. Technically speaking, I could have a higher raw with the Royal Launcher frame. In low rank, in single player, it has 12 points more attack than the Tropico gun frame and the Jagged Fire frame. And this is interesting because it actually ends up with a 192 attack in high rank, which is lower than the Jagged Fire frame and a lot of other bowgun frames. So I was actually kind of confused by this, that the Royal Launcher actually ends up a little higher. The reason I'm using the Jagged Fire frame is actually for the extra sleep shots. Lagiacrus for bowgunners, especially if you don't have a shielded barrel, becomes really difficult right before becomes really difficult right before going down for death or capture readiness. And so I'm going to be using a sleep bombing in order to help with that process in the second phase of the fight after Lagiacrus leaves Area 10 and goes to Area 11. And I'm basically going to be doing that because of the lower defense on the bowgun and the higher chance of just getting one-shotted by something kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing a sleep bombing. Fell the Lagiacrus. I'm using the grill mask with Cha-Cha because this is the mask I actually have at the highest level. I was going to showcase that. And that gives him the most abilities. He's got earplugs in case I do not... Actually, I won't be able to provade any roars with Lagiacrus, so hopefully that'll help me out since I don't have a shield on my barrel. The grill mask is always nice because you can give Cha-Cha raw meat before you set out on a quest. And, you know, he makes me usually 3 to 6 well-done steaks depending on the length of the quest. And sometimes he makes burnt meat and rare steaks as well. And so, you know, it's a little bit of a toss-up. But that's a good way of just basically working up well-done steaks. Let's get my boosting on. Gotta love the boosts. I had a really hard time finding dragon toadstools for some reason and had to do the Gathering Shrooms quest a bunch of times in order to get that right, so that I could have mega nutrients. Again, good times in bowgunning. Always having to fish up supplies. Obviously that doesn't apply to mega nutrients, anyone can use those. But with bowgunning in particular, always having to harvest up weird supplies so you can have extra combines. The Pierce 1 combine thing is just bizarre that it's a jaggy carve that leads to Pierce 1 combines. And Pierce 1 is one of the easiest ammunitions to use, so it's just really curious that they decided to do things that way. I'm going to use a Might Pill and a Might Seed to boost my attack by 25 points of adjusted raw. That's 25 points irregardless of weapon class. Oh, it's just making it awful for me. Oh, right. She's not going to start in Area 10 because I messed up the first time we went through. Basically, Lagiacrus got very squirmy with me in the second phase of the fight after he had left Area 10 and went to Area 11. And, yeah, oh my gosh, it made it extremely problematic. Oh, by the way, I have Trap Master on my armor skills, which is pretty cool. I found a +7 talisman while I was doing Cold Stones. So I ended up with Crack Shot all up and Trap Master, which is just good fun. Oh, did you just see me? Cool, because I saw you a while ago. You must have very bad depth perception. Why don't I just trap you through your first screen? I guess it didn't work. So close. The life of a bowgunner. It'd be nice if I could work in and knock out through crag shots. Of course, that's not like a necessity of the fight or anything. Oh, that was a lucky flinch. I'm probably going to get another lucky. No, it's going to be a scream. Okay. Now, the problem with Lagiacrus underwater is that he gets really squirmy. And when he gets mad, he's just kind of all over the place, which makes the Wyvern Fire very difficult to get in. We'll see how well I can do with this stuff. If I can swim towards him relatively quickly and then unload kind of like that, it's still not a good hit. Maybe? It's going to be a tough call. I am a bowgunner that is addicted to my shielded barrels. I can't even work in the shots because he just interrupts me with a slap to the face. Oh, this is good times. Good times in bowgunning. I'm gonna probably end up using these max potions. Save myself from the trouble of having to swim around everything. So, yeah, Lagiacrus always causes me the most trouble when he is squirmy like this. I wouldn't attempt to solo this, per se. Oh, that was really lucky. I was out of the range of his... Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be really bad. I was out of the range of his thunder attack and then got the Wyvern Fire in anyway. I really hate those thunder attacks, especially when you're bowgunning. Like, it's okay if you're lancing, because you can basically just counter through them, so like, no big deal there. But, oh man, is it a pain in the tuchus if you're bowgunning. Even if you have a shielded barrel. That looked really cool, but was totally ineffective damage-wise. Even if you have a shielded barrel, it basically does this, like, multi-knock thing, where it's just constantly knocking into you. Okay, Lagiacrus, what else you got? It's feeling kind of swimmy this time. You know, Lagiacrus always has dispositions. Hopefully I'm still out of the range of that. Oh, I love flinching him in his back because he does this. He's like, you've been scratching my back, no scratch my belly. My cat does the exact same thing, where, you know, if you scratch her back too much, she's naturally inclined to be like, yeah, you need to get some belly rubs in there, Buster. Like, what do you think you're doing? Seriously. That's the good news about doing bowgun damage to Lagiacrus' back. As I recall, his back is pretty resistant to damage from the melee weapons. He might have some impact resistance there, or ability to receive damage through impact. Oh, he is just tossing me. I hate it when he does this. I'm not even thunder blighted, and he's still stunning me like crazy. Yeah, good times, Lagiacrus. He'll give me a chance to heal at least. I find Lagiacrus to be one of the hardest monsters to solo in high rank, irregardless of weapon class. Like I can't even recall seeing someone else do it. It's a pretty tough solo. Ah. I'm never lucky at dodging around that attack. He always gets to me. The double, it's kind of like a hip check, but not quite. Yeah, those bullets probably despawned. Oh, one of them hit. I think this is a good time for the sleep. Nah, it's not quite right. I'm going to do the Crag 3s first. The sleep bombing's coming up, though. He's becoming pretty squirmy. The more squirmy he becomes, the more I'm just like, dude, sit still, okay? I mean, it's one of those guilty pleasures of bowgunning that, like, they so readily offer sleep to you that it's kind of hard to walk away from it sometimes. Sometimes you're just like, yeah, I know that like, sleep bombing is pretty cheap and it doesn't really offer the monster their dignity back. You know, it's kind of unfortunate for that purpose. But gosh, they offer it to you so readily with the bowgun. And the potentials of damage for it are just really fantastic. As Lagiacrus has pointed out, the bombs do triple damage, or at least the first bomb does triple damage upon impact to the sleeping monster to wake it up. And so that's just totally fantastic. Really a great way to modify damage and do things better when you're running in single player with a bowgun. Lagiacrus' back takes extra fire damage. So I'm trying to use the occipital fire damage that comes along with the Crag shots in order to deal a little extra damage into Lagiacrus' back. That's the hope, at least. Are you swimming away? you doing something fancy? Now, is that a limp? Am I looking at a limp? If I'm looking at a limp, then I'm definitely going to be sleep-bombing. Of course, if I go in there and Lagiacrus is asleep, then it's going to be like, sleep on him. He's already asleep. So, that's actually probably a really bad idea. What do I want to shoot? What I'm going to do? I'm going to do the Wyvern Fire Wake Up. This is actually kind of tough with the Wyvern Fire one-shots. But I learned how to do this while I was doing my tutorial, even though I actually canceled the part about sleep bombing that was part of the tutorial. But in any case, I learned how to do this where you're setting off the bombs with just the Wyvern Fire shot. And in low rank, the Wyvern Fire shots aren't going to be doing enough damage to justify actually hitting them. Hitting the monster with them instead of the bomb, because bowguns only get double damage. How was my time on that? 9-10? I accept that. Oh, look at he's switching! I get to harvest from him. Oh my god, I got a monster fluid! I have doubly profited from you, douchebag. Nice job. Nice job. I'm gonna carve this guy up since it's my first Lagiacrus. Oh man, good times. Good times. Yeah, swamp. So yeah, this is MikeBust from Arcadians. Me and Derailer just took out our first Lagiacrus. Someone may disbelieve whether or not that was our first, so maybe in the few seconds remaining I can actually register and show that. Maybe? Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Anyways, in any case, this is our first Lagiacrus, Derailer, MikeBust from Arcadians. Peace out, Planet Monster Hunter. Did you guys give me anything good? You better have given me something good. I got a horn, that's nice.